Carol Daniel with Studio B joining you on the road. We are at Mud Coffee, which is in the same building that CBS Radio is in, and thanks to these beautiful accommodations with all the wonderful artwork. But we're here because of these two women. Yes, I'm Carol Daniel. She's Missy Kelley she's the COO, I should say, of Downtown STL Inc. And the first thing I've always noticed about her is that she has this beautiful head of gray hair. It is gorgeous.
Thank you.
But we're bucking the system because you went gray at an early age and I've stopped relaxing my hair. This is a natural, as we call it in my community. When did you first go gray?
Well, I got my first gray hair in seventh grade. I was quite the anomaly. And it started to, then it just kind of kept going. And by the time I was in college, I had, pretty sprinkled throughout, but it was white. It's pretty white. And then by the time I was in my late 20s, I had all gray and white, silver and white or gray hair. So I stopped dyeing it finally on my 30th birthday. I decided au naturel from here forward.
So the question that we have and the issue that we face as women about our hair, all these questions that circle in our heads, and as a 30-year-old who decided to go silver, decided to go white, decided to go gray, that had to be, you had to spend some time thinking about that. What would it mean? What would people think?
Yeah, definitely. And I was lucky in that my mother and father were both prematurely gray, and my mother, I could kind of see what it was going to look like because, she kind of went before me and bucked the system as well. But, I got some mixed reviews on it. And to this day, I have people say, wow, you're brave. And I'm like, I'm not sure. Is that a compliment when you're saying, wow, you must be brave to walk around looking like that? So, I'm not always sure, but most of the time, 99% of the time, it's a flattering compliment. So.
I remember one time someone saying to me when my hair I just used a flat iron and straightened it, and they said to me, Missy, oh, you did your hair today.
Oh. Awesome.
It's a similar comment.
Yes.
Because this is undone. And then my other favorite was said to me recently is a man said to me, oh, I could tame that. To my hair, to my hair.
Oh, I did have someone, I was literally, had just gotten into my car and a woman came up and knocked on my window. Oh. And for whatever reason, I felt safe and rolled down the window. It was like, 11 in the morning. And I'm like, yes. And she said, I just want you to know that I have a beauty shop right up the street and I would love to dye your hair. And I was like, oh, well, thank you. So I thought that was pretty audacious.
There's a lot of that. And when I decided to go natural, number one, we're saving some money, aren't we?
Oh, yes. And let me tell you, when you're 30 years old and, every 6 weeks I would have, I called it my Pepe Le Pew stripe. Everybody else had dark roots coming in, and I had this white stripe down the middle of my head. And I decided, okay, I am done with this. But two things I didn't like. I didn't like spending the money, and I didn't really have the money to be spending on my hair as much. But also, I didn't like sitting in a salon for hours. I just didn't. That was just not me. I wanted to be out doing stuff. And I tried it at home, and then it ended up looking like the flavor of the month. And so I finally just said, I am done with this, and haven't looked back.
I think that we're redefining beauty on our own terms, and it is still, because you said people are still coming up to you, people are coming up to me. As we try to redefine beauty on our own terms, the public isn't always so accepting.
No, and I've had so many people ask me, number one, how did I do it technically? Like, did you just let it grow out and have terrible roots for a while? So I get questions like that. But more often, I get women asking me, they tell me their story and how they really want to do it, but they're afraid it won't look as good. And it's so interesting to me how much of our self-worth and self-esteem is wrapped up in this, because I'm not kidding. At least once a week I have a 5-minute conversation with a stranger about how she really wants to do it and she's thinking about it and just wants the encouragement and is glad to see someone that's done it.
I often wonder if people think I'm being somehow militant. And in a way, I am being somehow militant because I'm saying to the conventional wisdom that this is my natural hair and I think I look good. And if you don't, that's not my problem.
I love it. I love owning it. And just, I think, I'm 46, so I let my hair, I stopped dyeing my hair at 30. And I'm also kind of at this point in my life where I just want all aspects of my life to be authentic. And I feel like this is just one more aspect of that. Now, I do wear makeup, so.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Absolutely. I'm wearing makeup, I'm wearing perfume, my nails are done, so we have a little bit of the...
Yes, but I do like the fact, and it's also kind of a signature look, which is kind of nice. You know, now I always say there's going to be a tipping point. Like at some point, you know, my face is going to catch up with the hair, and I'm going to look like all of a sudden I aged like 20 years. But for now, I'm okay.
We are not at that point yet. Missy, thanks for talking about the rebellious side of you.
It's my pleasure, and more power to you. I think it looks awesome.
Thank you very much. More Studio B coming up on KMOX.